to our first in-season episode of Barnstormin. Here was the plan, right? We had training camp, we're gonna get ready, go out, go to Vegas, and then after that short week against Green Bay, film our next podcast.
Right.
In between playing in Vegas and Green Bay, the whole world ended for us, and everybody's on the IR, and our podcast was not at the front of our mind. So if you're waiting on it, we apologize.
Yep, we've heard. I have at least.
Okay.
I'm sure you've heard a little bit. There've been a lot of people out there wanting it, and just wasn't the time, unfortunately. Wasn't too much to talk about positive. Always try to be positive, but
we're gonna try to stay on this 2-week window.
Yeah, we'll try to give you guys
season.
as many episodes as we can, but you guys gotta understand we got a lot going on, obviously outside of this, just like you guys have with your job. You don't watch this probably till night when you're laying in bed, so give us a little bit of grief.
All right, so let's talk about the reality. Like the biggest thing, and I've been saying it a lot. You are what your record says you are.
Absolutely.
And right now, we thought we played a pretty good first half against Vegas, and that's when everybody started getting hurt. 7 of the 9 guys are hurt. Got hurt in the first half against Vegas.
Yep.
Darius goes out in the 6th play against Green Bay, and we've just been reeling ever since, trying to get our feet back on the ground. So, but right now, we're 14th best team in the coaches poll 2 weeks in a row. You like how I put that positive spin? 14th best. Okay.
Best.
And we're 0-3, right? We're one of only 2 teams in the league that haven't won a game yet.
Correct.
Us and Tulsa. Somebody's going to get their first win on Friday night, or Saturday night. We are where we're at.
Yeah. You said it best. I mean, the injuries, people don't really realize someone's worth until, they're gone. The first game with, I think Dave Calderon was the one that went out for the rest of the season after that one.
We got Dave and Ian getting hurt.
Dave and Ian.
King getting hurt the day before we leave on the plane.
And then the second game, King doesn't even play.
Yeah,
King. No, he plays in Green Bay, just not all the way there. Same thing with Ian.
Carl gets hurt. Bobo gets hurt.
Bobo.
Darius obviously goes down for the year.
Darius goes down. I don't know many teams in this league, if any this year, that has as many injuries through their first couple weeks as we did. I mean, there may be a couple, but like I said, you don't realize how valuable they are. And we knew DJP was valuable to the team. We knew Dave was. We knew Ian was very valuable. King in the back end. As we never downgraded that, but.
Yeah.
Hits you right in the face.
It was an amazing amount of adversity that we didn't plan for. I thought we had a great training camp and we were ready to go, and then guys just started getting hurt, and then first half against Vegas getting hurt, and King was already hurt, got hurt.
Some people were saying something, you see stuff, people saying you guys didn't really handle adversity. I don't even know if that's adversity what hit us.
It's wild. It was
wild. People talking, that's fine, it is what it is, but no, that was insane. Talking to just people on the outside, just friends or just family or anything. You don't see that really at any level. I mean, the players. If you think about it, it's every position. We have one from every position group, pretty much.
Yeah.
And you got to think about it, guys. When you have 8 guys on each side of the ball, if 3 get hurt, that's almost half. Obviously you got 4 defensive end. There was 4. You got Beaton, Calderon, Ian, and King. There's 4 out of the 8. Carl. He came in the second. So I mean.
And he's filled for Dave, but yeah.
Yep. So it's been a rough start, obviously. We got to get back on track starting this weekend. And when that's obviously the goal. Obviously, like you said the other day in meetings, they're going to come in here 0-3 as well. They want to get their first win. No one's going to lay over, but I like the spot we're in.
The biggest thing is our first game, non-conference game, it's almost like a preseason game.
Right.
0-2 in conference. Still have 12 regular season games left and beyond. So we are still, believe it or not, in a position where we can control our own destiny. We can get a string of wins here.
You know what you're actually looking at when you're looking at the records and stuff, which a lot of the people do. It's kind of weird. It doesn't feel like we're 0-2. I'm 0-3, but like you said, 0-2 in the conference. I mean, some of those teams, Sioux Falls is what, 1-2?
Yeah, we played Green Bay twice more. We played Sioux Falls twice more. We played Mass twice.
Quad 3, and then Frisco
Quad 3
once,
more times,
Tulsa 2 more times, including this weekend and one on the road in the middle of June. I really like our chances going forward. I know it's easier said than done, and a lot of people, they're like, "Oh, really? You guys on 3?" Just let it be. We'll come back to this here in a couple of weeks.
We obviously had to make some changes, right? We
had to,
and not because I shouldn't say make changes. We didn't want to make changes.
No,
I would have happy to have Dave out here and have Ian fully healthy, and have Darius out here and have Antonio fully healthy. But guys get hurt. We can't just not play the games. I did ask Julie if she could call a bomb threat in when we were going to play Sioux Falls. She did not say she would do
not
that.
fulfill her part.
I asked, I asked.
Hey,
I
that's
just
like
call them at like noon, say there's a bomb in the building, and maybe we can get the game pushed another week.
It was, yeah, that could have probably helped us out a little bit. You know, we had the guys that filled in, and they did their job to the best of their abilities at that day. You know, it's just some days that's just not enough.
Yeah, so we signed Deshaun Benton,
We had
one
Ben,
day of
we had
practice.
Allen, one day
Alan
of practice.
Edwards, 1 day of
One
practice.
day of practice.
Rayvon Bonner, one walkthrough.
One walkthrough on, yeah.
One walkthrough
On that
and
Thursday,
play.
right?
Yep.
No,
It
that
was
Friday, because we traveled Saturday.
traveled Saturday. So Friday walkthrough. Those guys came in.
They did the best ability. Bonner gets hurt
Yeah.
in the game. So that doesn't tell you what the season's been like. That should sum it up right there. When Bonner comes in,
those guys all Rayvon's working on getting
The
his injury fixed up too. So yet another guy comes in and gets hurt on a weird freak thing. Deshaun and Allen whole week of practice, bye week to soak some more stuff in. Brought in a DN this week, Deshaun Cooper.
Yep,
Experienced
out of
last year
Atlanta.
in San Diego. A big Georgia Southern guy, some NFL looks and stuff like that. So he's here. He'll have a few days of practice in this week.
Yep.
And then the big one, like everybody's wondering, who's going to be the quarterback, right? Zach Reeder, I thought, played admirably.
Yeah,
You know,
he did what he
got
did.
he's
Just
got
a
a
couple
bright
bad reads
future.
here and there. Jonathan Bain coming in.
Jonathan Bain.
I
he's
think
good.
I called him last week. Or actually, I texted him and he called me right away because I sent you the eye emojis.
Yeah,
I said
this signing's going to do
I
something.
said doing some things,
like
and he already knew. People have been contacting me about it now because now everybody's interested. Even though like we're 0-3, like he even was saying, the Mecca. You know, everybody.
Yeah.
You know, you think of the IFL, you think of the Rattlers and the Barnstormers. I feel like at this point, and he hit on the head. You know, and I think you're just excited as we are, and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
But we're all very excited. No one feels like we're 0-3.
And I think the stuff that makes me feel good, sleeping hasn't been great for the last 3 weeks, right? But what makes me feel good is even when we come out and we lose against Sioux Falls, and defense actually didn't play that bad.
No, they had good couple
Offense
stands
played,
at
we played pretty poorly on offense, but defense got some really tough situation. Ball starting inside the 10. A couple onside kicks we missed. They had the ball starting inside the 10 for those two. So they had like 5 times the ball starting inside the 10-yard line. We probably gave up like 30 points, 35 points for real.
Yep.
But throughout the whole first 3 weeks here, everybody can see talents there that we're just got to break through. And every time we feel like we're going to break through, Darius gets hurt, and then this guy gets hurt, and when we're getting ready for Sioux Falls, and we find out that Bobo's hurt and we can't go. And luckily, Rayvon was able to get on a plane and get here in a day. But everybody still believes, everybody's still bought in. Practice this week has been great, high energy, up tempo. Everything's been really good in that aspect.
I think from kind of like me, I get to watch. I absorb a lot of practice, obviously, but just like you were saying, the energy and the belief is still there. I don't think really anybody has thrown in the towel. You also told anybody on Monday's meeting, if you don't feel like we have what we have going here is enough, or you don't think we can pull it off, then just go ahead. Talk to you privately, and you guys can leave. Obviously, we would know who it is because there's only 25 of us here.
Sure.
But no, and I don't think anybody feels like that. I think we're fully confident. We believe in this coaching staff that's going to lead us in the right direction. You guys obviously have a lot of people here. Everybody you have in here, you wouldn't bring them in here if you didn't believe that we could get the job done. So it's just time now to make everything happen on Saturday and see what we can do.
Yeah. So let's talk to the quarterback. We're going to bring him in here and do a little interview with Saturday night starting quarterback, our new quarterback of the Barnstormers, Jonathan Bain. All right, as promised, new Barnstormers quarterback, Jonathan Bain, in the house. We are in the Wells Fargo Arena. Just had our first practice here today. I want to give you a little bit of insight into Jonathan, how he got here, who he is, what he's about, and all that kind of stuff. So first thing I want to walk through with Jonathan, kind of like how you got here. Like, you were not just hanging out at home, drinking beer and eating Cheetos and like, oh, let me go play some ball again. All right, you were signed to a team in a different league, not the IFL. They'll be unnamed for now, but you had some kind of contract issues and you were looking maybe for a new home.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. So I was back home training just like every other offseason, getting ready to play. Was signed to another team in another league, and we just had some issues taking place as far as with the contract. And so, yeah, I was just searching for a new home and looking for a place to play, and it worked out. He gave me a call and couldn't ask for a better opportunity.
So the way it worked out on our end we played at Vegas, had some injuries at Vegas, but Darius was healthy, and we were like, all right, couple adjustments. We'll go to Green Bay and get our first win. Sixth play of the game, Darius goes down, and you got to get through the game. We had our chances there, obviously, but coming out of that game, I think on the way home is when I first started brainstorming who's out there, and I knew a guy who knew you from your team last year, a good friend of mine, coached with you guys last year when we were with the Carolina Cobras, and I said, hey, what's Jonathan Bain doing? And we talked a little bit, and I said, give me his number and call him and tell him I'm going to call so he answers my call. And I think we first talked that next day. That next day was the first conversation, but it was a little bit recruiting. It was really a recruiting pitch. It was you've been around the block, and we'll talk about that in a minute here about all the stuff you've done, but you've been around the block to hear all the promises people sometimes make, and you got to make sure that you are getting what you think you're going to get. Obviously, you were signed to other teams, so there was some balance there, and possible maybe getting traded in that other league. So there was a lot of stuff that had to go through your process. Walk us through a little bit of the process from that first call on Sunday to you becoming a Barnstormer, a week and a half later.
Yeah, it was actually crazy for me. Just being, I was comfortable in the NAL. It's a league I played in, that in the arena style football for 8 out of my 10 years. So I was looking to stay in that league and didn't really, think too much of the IFL in the moment. But like I said, when you called me and kind of told me the situation and everything, and just was a straight shooter. Like I said, I was tired of dealing with, some unfulfilled promises from other teams and different things. And like you said, being around for a while, you kind of see and go through that type of stuff. But at this point in my career, I was looking for some more stability, a place, that has a good roster and guys that, want to win, want to be a part of a championship, and coaching staff that, on the same level there, as long with ownership, right? People that care about what's going on. And you can't get any better than the Iowa Barnstormers. Just throughout my whole process, playing days, this is, the mecca of arena football. This is arena football. When you think arena football, you think Iowa Barnstormers. And just to be a part of such a historical organization for multiple reasons, it just weighed on me. It ended up being a no-brainer. It was funny, at first how I was so, on the fence, what do I do, to where, it was the clearest, clean-cut option, by the end of the week when I called you back to, to join the team. I wish I wouldn't have took that long to make the decision in the first place, to be honest with you. But just a blessing to be back out here and slinging the ball around and competing and having fun.
I think I speak for everyone. We appreciate that you're here to start off with. We think highly of everybody already in the locker room as it is. So I have two questions for you. The first one is, I think you kind of already answered, but what was the deciding factor? Because I know you had teams, either be in trade talks in another league, or I'm sure there's other teams in this league that talk to other leagues, CIF, whatever it is. You're well known in the indoor game for sure. What was the deciding factor at the end of the day? And then the second question is, what are you most excited about now? What do you see here that you've been a couple days in practice with the team, and what are you most excited about looking forward?
Well, first and foremost, not to toot his horn because he's right here, but Coach, just talking with him, he is persistent. He kept it real with me the whole time, and just authentic. And then talking to other people who know Coach very well, and other players that have played for Coach speak so highly of him. That right there, on top of y'all's roster, you have a great roster, and just comes down to our conversations though. I have talked to a lot of teams and spoke with multiple teams in the IFL as well, but it just felt right. From the first conversation, it sounds so cliche because I'm sitting here right now, but it did. It felt right from the first call. I remember hanging up the phone and just being like, I was playing hard to get almost, but it was like, dude, this sounds right.
You sound just like everybody else though. We all say the same thing about Coach Moges. So you're not even sounding cliche. You are a repeating record though from everybody else.
Right. Well, that's all. But hey, that speaks volume.
Absolutely.
The funniest part about that. So we were going like a week, right? And we were going back and forth and talking. And I wanted to make sure, you've been around, you've done a lot of great things. I wanted to give you space. I wanted to be persistent, but not be suffocating.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But then a couple days before you actually sign, I'm getting calls and texts from friends of mine going, "How'd you get Bain?" I'm like, I didn't get Bain. He hasn't signed yet. What are you talking about? Everybody's saying he's signed it. He called so-and-so who called me, and I'm like, so he hasn't signed yet. Nothing's happened. You guys are going to jinx me here.
So like you said, the persistency is key, obviously, with that. So now he started talking to you after the Green Bay game, you said?
That next day.
After the Green Bay. So at that point, we're 0-2. And by the time you made your decision, about to be we're 0-3. So what excited you? I mean, like. 'Cause like I said, other teams. I'm sure there's some teams that are probably have a winning record, or
Right.
500, whatever it is. But what was the exciting? Like, I just wanted to know.
An awesome approach, honestly, was 5, maybe 6 players from the team, the Barnstormers, hit me up during this process, and man, just talking with them and like genuinely talking to them, asking them real questions that you only get the answers from the players. This is they're going to shoot you straight, and everybody loved every single thing going on up here. And being a part of the game so long, you understand like injuries do happen. It's unfortunate, man. And you hate it in any league, any level. It's just part of the game. But you can see where key injuries can affect, can make you 0-3. You know what I mean? You're not an 0-3 team, but it is what it is. You're 0-3 on, on the paper. But I just saw the roster that's, he's built here and y'all built, and just the guys, the genuine, the competitive drive everybody's had. Everybody's so hungry. A young team. I mean, coming from an older guy, this is a really young team across the board. And that's a good thing, I think. It's a lot of hungry guys, ready to get in here, compete, win.
Guys trying to prove points in general.
Absolutely. Yep. And it's a cool situation. It's 0-3, right? I'm sure I've been in it too. You got people counting you out. You got people looking at you. I looked the other day. I actually screenshotted it. We're ranked 14 in the league.
Yeah. 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row.
My whole life kind of been an underdog. You know what I mean?
Right.
In every, from middle school, high school, college on to my professional game. And what better, story, right? Based on, I was sitting at home, not sitting at home, but based on my situation with the team I was signed to, and I loved it. I love the game. I haven't been able to get away from it. Obviously, this is year 10, I guess, if you count with COVID years and stuff. And I love it more now than I even did the first time. And so I just always say I'm going to play till the wheels fall off. And, this opportunity, I'm telling you, it couldn't have came at a better, it just worked out perfect. And I couldn't be more excited to be a part of it and to get this thing back rolling. And it's not all about me. I think, what I do bring, though, would help us is, experience, championship experience, winning experience, and just try to be the best leader I can and get the ball to the playmakers. There's playmakers all over this field, all over the field.
Yep.
So that really kind of sums up, I could go on for days about it, but yeah, that sums up really my decision making and coming here and what led me, to the decision.
So let's get away from football for a little bit, because I know it's been jam-packed this past couple days, especially learning playbook and whatever it may be. You're here now, but so tell us a little bit about your personal life. Like, what do you, where are you from? What are like some hobbies like you like to do outside of this? Like, just outside of football. If you go home, what are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm from Temple, Texas, born and raised down there. Hobbies of mine, I like to golf. Actually, I've been golfing for a little while, but here lately, man, I got the bug. It bit me, and I'm hooked. I'm addicted to the golf game. But other than that, we grew up in the country down there, and fishing. Love fishing. My dad's a big cat fisherman. That's all we ever did growing up. That's all we ever knew. So doing things of that nature, just being outside, hanging out. I don't do a whole lot. I'm not, I wish I'd get more into the traveling scene. I'd like to see different things in different places, but as of right now, just keep it chill, low key, and as much football as we're talking, it really has my off seasons and my other outside football life has to do with football. As crazy it is, but that's just part of it, and that's why I can't get away from it. And that's why I still every year want to come back and try to be better than I was the year before and things of that nature. So there's always things I'm working on, critiquing. Also, I guess, fun fact, my job outside of here, I'm a drywall man, do tape flow texture. So it's kind of a rare trade. I never really run into anybody.
Like you a pitch? Just like, so if anybody needs it, I
needs
guess.
some drywall done. Tape. I don't hang
up.
sheetrock. I don't like messing with the hanging, but tape flow texture, all that painting, I got you. But yeah, so in the off season, I'm run with a construction company and do things of that nature. But other than that, man, we're outside, we're golfing, we're fishing, we're hanging out.
Easy.
Yeah.
You've been kind of, you're in Temple, Texas, but you haven't played a lot of football in Texas over the course of your career, right? So college, you went from Texas to South Dakota.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
So
that's a while ago, but
college, and we won't dive too deep into it, but I had a crazy little story. Like once I said, I always kind of being the underdog. Going into high school, I ended up transferring high schools my sophomore year or junior year, and had some crazy rule put against me where I couldn't play a varsity sport the remainder of my high school career. So that hurt in recruiting, that hurt everything, right? So kind of up against the wall there, back against the wall, and still wondering, how do you play football from there, right? I can't get any film, I can't do anything, but still practiced, still went through every single day, every single week as if I was going to be the starter on Fridays. Had an awesome coaching staff down there that helped me out. and ended up getting me on with a JUCO, and been a crazy situation. Have had a car accident, and it hurt my ability to walk. They were telling me I may never walk again, and had to do the whole wheelchair thing and relearn how to walk. So once again, right, football, right, not even in the picture as far as what others are saying. So it was just a drive from there, man. I never accepted that, and people always ask, well, how did you come out of that? How did that ever work out? And I just say faith. You know, I got a praying family, praying mama, and just I never lost hope. You know, and I always believed that there was something different. I just had a feeling there was something different, bigger for me, and it had to do with football. As much as football was taken away from me, I just always felt, man, why am I still so hooked to this game? And you know, obviously time passes. I pass all my tests. I get back going. I'm rolling. I'm feeling good. And it was my oldest brother. He knew a guy in South Dakota somehow, some way, found an opportunity for me to go in and play right away. What hurt me with the NCAA was no SAT, ACT at the time. Anyway, so I go up there and spend 4 years. You know, I went in at first thinking it was just an opportunity to play and get out. But once again, you gotta, I was appreciative of the opportunity, and you know, the grass ain't always greener on the other side. Yes, it was an NAIA, and I had dreams of the big Division I ball, and you know, even being recruited early in high school and stuff like that. You know, you always want to play that high level of ball, but you know, I was more, I guess, growing up in the fact and just being appreciative of the opportunity, and I always said, well, if you're good enough, they'll find you. You know, still having professional dreams. But yeah, from there, get done. I actually drew a little NFL interest during my college years, so I had a couple of workouts, and then ended up going to Baylor's Pro Day and performed well. And just, you know, I guess what everybody here on our team goes through, right? Here, we're going to sign you, we're going to get picked, you're going to stay here, stay ready. And it was a scout recommended arena football, and you know, I looked at him crazy because I was like, what is that going to do for me? You know, moving on to the NFL. But you know, I got in and learned really quick, right? It's a lot faster game. It hones in on those things that, you know, maybe at the NAIA level where it is a little slower paced football, you know, well, it sped up real quick for me. So went to Richmond, really cool season for me, rookie year, kind of learning on the fly. I got thrown into the fire, and it was awesome, man. We ended up making a championship run. Ended up losing in the championship that year, but it was awesome, man. I right then was hooked. And, you know, obviously trying to move on, wanted to do whatever I could, but arena presented itself again. I was all in for it. That's when I went on to the AFL with Tampa Bay. Spent a year there, and then bounced all over. It's crazy. I've kind of followed a coach everywhere I've went. Just built a really good relationship with Coach James Fuller. He's been awesome. He's taught me almost every single thing I know in this game, and has been a great mentor for me, something I needed at that point in my life. And yeah, so we've just bounced around everywhere from Tampa Bay, then on to Bismarck, North Dakota, Maine, Portland, Maine Mammoths in the NAL, then down to the Jacksonville Sharks, where in 2019 we were able to win the National Arena League Championship. So I was able to get me a ring there. And then 2020, jumped into the IFL against a former team, the Frisco Fighters, was down there for their inaugural season. And then went back to the NAL last year with the Carolina Cobras, getting beat in the championship game. So journeyman, right? Been everywhere. But, you know, one thing from it, I've learned everywhere I've went. I've appreciated every teammate I've ever come across, right? Because we're all in this thing. You know, it's not just anybody can play this game.
No. Nope.
Yeah,
that
so
is very true.
I'm saying it takes a lot of sacrifice, and what I mean by that is not on a skill level. Yes, the skill levels are different, right? You can't just pull a guy, I promise, off an NFL roster and come dominate the arena game. It ain't gonna happen. But I'm talking like the sacrifices we make, right? We're leaving home. I promise you, none of us are getting rich out here. You know, it's a different love for the game, I feel, in this arena game, right? We're all reaching for that higher level. We are, but the stuff you go through at this level, you know, in order to try and achieve that, I think it speaks volume on the humans you're surrounded by. That's
definitely a special kind. I mean, we said this, I think, every week, and I mean, you'll attest to it too eventually, but it's a different kind of bond we have here. And I was telling Joe, the center today in the locker room, once we get in the locker room, it's a whole different Nick. Because Coach called us out a couple weeks ago saying he doesn't feel like we're as connected at times. He says we feel like a family, but like it's separate families within a family. Yep. The locker room talk is just like today. We're all messing around, you know, just talking after practice stuff. You can already tell everybody just bonding and stuff, and it's. I mean, 0-3, you wouldn't think it'd be like that. You don't really have anybody turning on anybody. Yeah, you know, you have like, the pointing fingers really hasn't been there at all. I mean, that's a good thing, I'd say, for us, at least as a team so far. And I think, you know, we've been talking about, I mean, I talked with him about it last week on the bye week. It's just that one thing, you know, we just got to get over the hump, just get the one win, you know, and we were talking about it last night. this next game, we don't worry about who we play next week. Right? We worry about that. We'll lose this game and we'll go 0-4 into Massachusetts. And then, the season. Theoretically, the season. At that point, it's pretty much done. But what about what's one? Obviously, the car crash and everything. That's an interesting. That's crazy. That's overcoming. That's an awesome story. What about where's Ian from? I already forgot. He's from.
Ian is from East Africa.
He's from East Africa.
Yeah.
What's one thing that if you tell us right now, we would not.
Liberia.
We'd be dumbfounded about. We would be like, wait, that's crazy. Is there anything about you?
Nothing. I mean, I guess by the way I walk, dress, talk, and everything, I was a team roper growing up. That's pretty country. I mean,
I don't know if that even is. So.
team roping where you got somebody rope the head, somebody rope the feet. Yeah, I grew up in the sticks. Yeah, we were out there in the country.
I guess you did say you grew up.
Deep out in the country.
I'd never talked to you before. I'd known who you are, being in this world for so long, and I don't know if I ever even knew you were from Texas.
Right.
But then I get you on the phone for the first time, and it's like,
the eyes, the
all right, this guy is from Texas. Like 100%.
I played against you once, 2021.
Yep.
Yep, you were Frisco.
Did you win or lose?
We won.
Okay, he was asking,
My
he was asking me.
bad.
Hold on. We talked about it the other day. It was a game-winning field goal chance, and it got blocked.
You missed it.
No, it got blocked.
So you're saying it was a game-winning field goal, and you didn't.
I was
you
at my own
and
5.
it didn't go into the.
No, you want to pull
uprights.
the film? We'll pull the film. We'll pull the film, and we'll show it or something because I'm about to get dragged back.
As we wrap this up, let's talk a little bit about Saturday. What can our fans? Our fans are used to with what we had last year. What we started with, a kind of offense where. Darius, our quarterback, he's very athletic. He's running around. We're doing a lot of different stuff there. What are our fans going to see different with you as opposed to what they've seen last year and in our first game this year?
I'm looking to go for about 400 yards rushing. No, I'm just kidding. No, what you can look forward to is just fast-paced arena football, right? Indoor football, fast-paced indoor football, lots of points. Like I said, whenever I came here, the roster's loaded, right? We got a great offensive line, and our skill position will compete with anybody in the league. I can go out and say that now. So really my job is easy, right? In a sense of just get the skill guys the ball and the playmakers the ball to make plays. And that's what I hope to come here and do. And with the scheme Coach has and the playmakers around me, it really, should be an easy transition, and we ought to, hit the ground running this week and score some points, right? We want to score 60, 70 points a game. That's what this game's made for, and that's what y'all fans come here to see. So I'm hoping to get that on track, and most importantly, out of all of it, we hope to have a monster performance on it. We want to get a win in whatever way, shape, or form that comes. We want to get a win, and because once we get that one, it feels good. Everybody, and to build off what you said, what I've noticed is everybody is still so positive, right? It's a long season, and we can sit here and talk about the next 12, 13 games we got left, but Rui said it best. It's 1-0 every week. Forget what's going on next week because if we don't handle business this week, it don't matter in a sense.
Right.
So it's 1 week at a time. Continue to get better, and we want to be peaking at the end, right? We want to get better each and every week and keep climbing through, leading to the playoffs. But let's take care of this week. Be excited. Come out, bring your cowbells, right? That's what we do here.
Cowbells.
Bring your cowbells, and let's be loud. Let's have that real home field advantage.
Yeah, no, I know. Like I said at the beginning, and I'm gonna say it again. From the locker room, from the coaching staff, the fans, you're gonna be felt loved. They're gonna appreciate you more than you're gonna know.
Right.
They're gonna be here. They'll be loud on Saturday. Actually tonight, tonight we have something with them. Tomorrow and then Saturday. But yeah, you'll hear them for sure, and they'll let you know.
And I'm looking forward to it, man. This is, like I said, one of the most historical places on earth to play in our game. And, what better way, man? We're 0-3, but we're going to go 1-0 this week, and that's the goal. And we're going to try to do that each and every week coming on, weeks coming in. So looking forward to the opportunity.
All right, Jonathan Bain, be out here Saturday night. Get your tickets. You can jump online, get on our website, call the office. Julie's in there, Parker's in there. They'll sell you as many tickets as you want. So get out here. It's going to be a fun Saturday night. All right, so that was Jonathan Bain. Good interview. Big Texan, right?
Great guy.
Big. The thing, you always see people listed. He's listed at 6'4", whatever. You never know if they're actually 6'4". Like, we got guys in our roster who told me they were 6'2", and they're like 5'11". So
yeah, I'm 6 foot.
Okay, but your hair is a little bit short, so you might
not
be 5'11" right now.
It's fine.
But Bain. So let's talk a little bit about the offense though with Bain.
Okay.
That's the question I got asked from everybody. That's the first question I got asked from Jonathan. How am I going to fit into this offense? And I said, let me send you some links of my offense from 2019 or 2018 or 10 or whatever. What we do, what I believe, and what Coach Hampton believes, what we do is we get our players, the guys that we want, and then we build what we do based on their strengths. So Darius can throw the ball, right? He can do that, but his strength, his number one thing that places him over other people is his feet and his ability to do that stuff. So we build and tweak the offense around that.
So I mean, we're four. I mean, technically this is our fourth game, and this is our third different offense of the year.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because from the Sioux Falls game, Reeder was more in the pocket. He could get out a little bit, but he had to tweak a couple.
Yeah, we
things.
did a couple little.
This is bigger. This is a way bigger change in an aspect. You know,
yeah,
things you'll see.
And I think Barnstormers fans are going to like this version of the offense, because one thing we hear all the time, and we talked about it with Darius, is, you know, this is Barnstormers football. This is Kurt Warner. This is back in the day AFL style stuff.
Right, for sure.
Throw the ball down the field, bombs away. And that wasn't really our game the last year. We were successful, and Darius is successful doing his game. I mean, he had 3,000 yards of offense. That's pretty good. Jonathan Bain is that guy that they're going to like. He's going to push the ball down the field. He's going to throw those moonshot deep balls. He's going to be accurate in passing. You're going to see, you know, a little bit of flair. We still have a little bit of flair in there. You're going to maybe see a little bit of some of those bigger fullbacks here or there. You know, kind of hike into the Kurt Warner days. So it's going to be a little bit of throwback. It's like a throwback, new age fusion.
I think we're very excited, Coach. And, you know, we're gonna obviously, like I said, believe whatever you throw out there. We're gonna go behind you. We're gonna fight for you, no matter what. But the flair, that does not involve Rui doing anything other than kicking. By the way, because I was waiting for him to say something. That's nothing. But no, we're very excited. Like I just said, we need everything to start clicking in the right way. Just like you said, we're a couple games, even Sioux Falls, we were clicking. We had that stop. We drive down, we score. We're down by like 10, but then they score. We throw an interception, they score, and then it just
consistency with Zach.
Consistency is.
I think Zach's going to be a really good quarterback in a similar style to Jonathan.
Yep.
So he's not a Darius style. So I think Zach's going to grow a lot here, working with Bain and seeing him and being in meetings with him all week. I think Zach's still going to be a really good player. It just needs that time. You see a lot of guys even in the NFL come in as rookies and struggle, and sometimes they never get it back after.
Definitely not a bad guy to be behind and learn. Like he's been in the game for a while. He knows what he's doing, and like I do agree, he's the same kind of quarterback in aspect of. He's not like DJP where he's sees a running lane. DJP would hit it, which is who he is. But DJP can also throw the ball over the top too. But I think Reeder will learn a lot under Bain.
Yeah. So Jonathan, great guy. Got an interview, get a little bit of taste of him. Let's talk segment-wise. There's going to be a little different segments as far as we're not going to do as much film breakdown. I don't need the other coaches watching me break down our film during the season, so that's going to be on pause until off-season again. But we have a Rui in the community. So we were at Truman's last night.
Yep.
We filmed some stuff on location there from Truman's, so let's go ahead and get to the Truman stuff right now.
This thing on?
This thing is on.
This thing on?
Hey guys, we are at what's the place called? Truman's Pizza Tavern here. Hi. Here with DJP, Tyler, Speedy. Just a quick review, guys. What do you guys think about the place?
10 of 10. 10 out of 10.
We had pizza. We had a bunch of different things today. You got some wings? How were the
Definitely
wings?
10 out of 10. Get the wings.
Pizza was on point.
Come here. What did you have? What did you have to eat?
I got some burgers. Got some nice
burgers. How was it?
Fantastic.
Good. McGee, come here. I need a food review real quick. What? Food review real quick, man. Let them know what you had and how good it was.
I had the bone-in barbecue and buffalo wings.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
Okay.
Just hit the tongue and it was so exquisite, man.
Wow.
I truly recommend.
Okay.
Let's
Wow.
go.
Okay, Reeder, you wanna? No, you good? Coach Boots? Oh, Reeder. Okay. We got Reeder right here. Reeder, what did you have? And I need a rate, please.
I think I just had the regular pepperoni pizza. And
That's it?
yeah,
Chef's
yeah,
kiss. Chef's kiss.
With the
What
side
did you have,
salad.
bro? What did you eat, buddy?
I didn't eat anything, bro.
Oh, okay. He didn't eat nothing, but I'm sure. Okay, we got Coach Boots Miller right here. What did you have?
the signature pasta.
Oh, wow. How was that?
Sounds healthy.
Yes.
I'll give it an 8.
Okay. Well,
I'll give it an 8.
Okay. 8. That's fine.
10's high. 10's high.
Okay. Bobo, come here. Hurry up. Come on, man. Don't piss me off. Come on. We got Bobinho right here. Tell him what you had and what the rating is.
Man, what's going on? Here with my boy Ruru, the Stew. Footy himself. We out here, man, at Truman's. Y'all what I rate?
What did you
So
have?
I think I had a burger pizza, bro.
Oh, and what else? Because I know you had some wings
I
waiting
had,
on you.
I had a little bit of wings, a
Okay.
little bit of buffalo. Gotta keep it traditional.
Okay.
Buffalo
And how was it?
barbecue. I'm getting about an 8.5, 9 out of 10. For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
That's the lowest score so
All
far.
right, yeah, it's kind of low, but we'll let it slide.
For sure. You gotta keep it real. You gotta. But let me get to the best part. The
Here it goes.
chicken, bacon, and ranch pizza.
That's what you ordered. Oh yeah. It looked good.
12 out of 10.
12. Wow. And that is a review, guys.
I'm here to interview Joe Fulford. Joe, tell me about the Barnstormers this year.
Well, you know,
Joe, are you ready for the game this week?
yeah, I am, I'm fired up, ready to go. You know, I know a lot of fans.
This is role reversal.
Yeah,
It's called role playing. I'm you, you're me.
there you go.
All right.
So,
What'd you have for dinner tonight at
well, you know, we got a great steak sandwich here at
Truman's?
Truman. Come out, pulling out. They have great food. I really highly recommend it. They have some great food.
Did you meet the new quarterback over here?
I have. We've been talking for a while.
Hey Joe, how's it going, man?
And I'm very impressed with him and talking to him. I think that he's gonna be a great addition to this team. Just like this guy right here who kicks the ball pretty well.
Best kicker in the league.
Best kicker in the league.
I appreciate that.
He's gonna
It's good. It's gonna be ready by Saturday. Don't worry about that.
This is Joe's first appearance on Barnstormin.
Animal right
So
here.
we're happy to have him on.
Barnstormin, great game. Saturday night, 7 o'clock, Wells Fargo Arena. Get your tickets and watch it on YouTube if you can't make it.
All right, so that was our Truman stuff. Fun event last night. Get on our website. So we have events every week now for the rest of the season. Home game weeks, there's a lot of events, but get on the website. Follow the team's Facebook page. They have events to figure out where you can come hang out with the guys. Big thing new this year, after every home game, autograph signing, right?
Right,
Then
after
you
the
guys
game.
go in and shower, and
Yep.
then where are we going after that?
After that, we'll be at Fuzzy's downtown. We'd love to have you guys out there. Obviously, you know, you can interact with us on the field with autograph stuff, and then after that, we'll go to Fuzzy's for about probably an hour, hour and a half.
at least
it just
an hour,
depends.
yeah.
It just depends. You know, we're gonna be there. Great people there as well at Fuzzy's. Love to have you out there. Come talk with us, chat about the game and everything all in between.
Yeah, so players will be out there, staff will be out there, I'll be out there, my wife and kids will be out there with us, so we'll Julie will be out there, ownership will be out there. It'll be a really great event, hopefully celebrating some wins over at Fuzzy's afterwards. We got a little clip we're going to play here. I caught you and Speedy kind of looking at the signage.
Yeah, he was
on the
excited
field.
about it, so I had to let him know
Speedy
about
was
it.
excited about getting some tacos. So, but that's our episode for this week. We'll play that little clip for you from Fuzzy Tacos here to kind of end it, and just a little bit of humor for you. But see you guys Saturday night. Tulsa's coming to town.
Wear black. It's a blackout, by the way.
Blackout.
So there's gonna be a shirt for the
First
what?
1,000 people
First
get a free
1,000.
T-shirt.
But if you're not gonna be able to get here by that time, just wear a black Barnstormer shirt. Just black, anything's black shirt. We're gonna make it special, all right,
Yep,
guys?
the concourse will be selling some black shirts
Yep.
too.
Couple
There's a
Barnstormer
tailgate.
shirts.
It's a big tailgate.
At 3
5
o'clock?
5 o'clock
5 o'clock?
tailgate. Kelly's Little Dipper is running a tailgate
Okay.
in the parking lot at 5 o'clock, I believe,
Perfect.
as
You
well.
guys
So
get out there. Some
hit
great
the
people as well.
tailgate. You'll be right here in time to be here right when the doors open at 6. I think 6 o'clock. So
6 o'clock.
I feel like we're going to put on a good show. Tulsa's going to be tough, good, well-coached team. They got a lot of talent. It's not going to be, some kind of game we're going to blow somebody out. It's going to be a good, tough game, but I think we'll put on a good show.
7 o'clock, guys. Hope to see you there.
Post-game party at Fuzzy's. What's this all about?
Let me tell you, man, Fuzzy's, one of our bigger sponsors right here. They're gonna have a post-game party after the game for about an hour, hour and a half. We're gonna be there. So, hey, I didn't see him there. Hey, all you guys that are looking Saturday after the game, after we get done with the autograph and stuff, we want you guys to come out and support. We'll have about an hour, hour and a half with all Fuzzy's people there. Please come join us.
Be there, be square.
Went to a